Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If it's your first time joining us, don't forget to like the page and subscribe to my channel and share, and thank you for choosing this channel to watch this beautiful content. So today we are going to talk about how Africans normally go to the United States or abroad, let's just say abroad in overall, to seek the greener pastures, and they find it hard to cooperate with their fellow black people that live there, like let's say they are black American people. Yeah. So normally Africans know that when they go to a foreign country where there is white people, what they'll do is that they'll grind and find more money and bring back the money home and do something with the money. Maybe they had a project, maybe there's something that they really needed to do to help their family back. So before I go on further, I'd like us to see this video and listen to this lady, and let's listen to what she'll tell us. Yeah.
It is way more than mindset, and I'm going to explain my reasoning. I moved to the US as a kid, and since I was young, I always wanted to be a doctor. We didn't have any family doctors in my family, we didn't have any friends that were doctors. But the only thing I could think of is growing up in East Africa, when I went to the doctors, they were black, and I always did well in school, and successful people became doctors, lawyers, business people. So I wanted to be a doctor. You couldn't tell me nothing. Came here, tried to befriend everybody in school, but the little black kids were really mean to me, so I befriended more white kids and Hispanic kids. I was told all the time that I spoke like a white person. I had a white name. I have family that is African American from my stepmom's side, and they would tell me that I'm listening to white music because I preferred pop music. I didn't care. I went on about my business. My childhood, the way I look at it, was as an African immigrant childhood. I went off to military first, then I went to college, and then medical school. At adulthood is when I started making African American friends. And I still remained very naive to the weight of my blackness until medical school. It wasn't even bad in medical school. It was just this one instance where I got a bad grade in one of the classes, and our associate dean gave me a come to Jesus talk about being black, and that I had to present myself for a certain way, and I could not act the same way as the Caucasian kids, and I could not fall asleep during lecture when it's only 5 of you guys anyway, and just basically telling me you cannot behave the same way as the white kids and expect to be treated the same way. The consequences are different. And oh boy, did I see those consequences being doled out differently when I was in residency. That's when I went into a deep depression, anxiety, took some time off, saw a psychiatrist, went on some meds because the subjectivity of residency, the people in my program, the people in charge of my program basically kept giving me bad evaluations, telling me I couldn't amount to anything, I couldn't be an anesthesiologist, I wasn't fit, I wasn't smart, all these things. And it's not like I didn't make mistakes. I admit I made mistakes. However, I saw the different consequences being doled out to me and to my white counterparts, especially the male counterparts. And lo and behold, I call my African American circle of friends, and we're all having similar issues. We're all struggling in residency year after year. Some of us are actually not getting our contracts renewed. And what is it that we had in common? We had our blackness in common. So in my 30s is when it really hit me like a Mack truck. The weight of my skin color and the roadblocks that it could put in front of me really hit me. But imagine having that as a child, okay? I was in my 30s. I was an adult. I was a strong African woman. So I was able to be resilient and keep pushing forward. With all my nights of crying and my depression, I was still able to persevere and go forward. But imagine experiencing all that negativity growing up as a black kid when your brain is still so young and it's still so malleable. You're watching the news, you're seeing nothing but bad things being portrayed about the African Americans. You don't necessarily have access to people who are successful, who look like you, who are mentors to you, outside of what? Rappers and ball players. The generational trauma, the racism, the bias, the roadblocks that are put upon the African Americans and brings a lot of them to where they are today can't be ignored. So if you're an African person and you choose to ignore that fact, considering the reason you're here and you have access to what you have access to is because African Americans fought for equality, then you're just choosing to stay ignorant. That's my take. That's my African American experience. I identify more as an African American in that regard versus an African person.
Yeah. So after we've heard whatever our sisters told us, so the thing is that Africans, when we normally go to the abroad countries, our biggest aim is working hard, working really hard, so that we may find a way to get more money to bring back home, because there will be people back home that are looking up to us like, this guy went to America. What will he or she come back with? How will he or she help the community? Yeah. So the thing is that when Africans normally go to, okay, no, I've never been to America, can't deny that, but I've heard cases of people that have been to America of how they are being treated by their fellow black people there in America, the black Americans, the way they are treating them with, this is your fellow brother, this is your fellow sister, he has the same skin color as you. Why treat him bad or treat her bad because he's African? Like, there is no big difference between you two. You are literally the same. The thing is that just because this person does whatever is being told by a white person, or does everything as the same thing as the white person normally do, he has his reason or her reason as to why he's doing this. He knows that, or he or she knows that, if I don't do this, the people back in the motherland, they are looking up to me. What will I go back with? I should be following the rules. I should be doing each and everything that I'm being told, because if I don't do that, I might be deported, because you as a black American, this is your country. There is nowhere where you can be taken. But as an African, I can be deported and taken back to my country. So I must do everything as it has been recommended by the person who has employed me. The thing is that there's no need of treating the African person bad or not interacting with him. You should be the first person. You should be the first person befriending this African person, because you might also want to know the cultures, what they normally do back in the motherland. You might have questions. You should be someone who is curious to know what an African person normally do there in the motherland, what happens there in the motherland. Instead, as a black American, you tend not to befriend him or her. You want him or her to be with the white guys, which is not bad also, which is not bad. But you as a black American, you know how harsh some white men can be, or some white women can be, to an African person. We've had so many cases how people have been deported. Even right now, some people are being deported from America. They are being taken back to their countries. So what I can say is that as a black American living in America, If you find someone from the motherland, an African person, be friendly to him or her, support him, be the first one to show him how to mingle around with people, how to do this or that. Show him, give him direction. Be someone who is helpful to a fellow black person. Yeah, we should be helpful to each other. We should be supporting each other. Don't say that he's African. No, he's not like us. Like he's feeling that like he's better than us. He has come to America to take our jobs. No. One thing is that I've seen so many clips in YouTube talking about how black Americans normally say that Africans come to America to take their jobs. No, 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 it's not like that. It's not like that. Yeah, Africans are really hardworking. They are really hardworking because they know that whatever has brought them here in a foreign country is that they need to get the money, they need to grind harder so that they may find a way to help the people that he or she has left behind because they are really looking up to him or her. So there's nothing like this person has come to a country to take your jobs, the jobs that you haven't applied on, or you haven't applied, or you haven't done anything to get the job. This person has come all the way from Africa and has crossed the Atlantic Ocean just to get this job while you was in this country, but he was just there, he was reluctant. No, the thing is that this person can work hard as much as you. You also, as a black American person, you can work as hard as him or her to get this job. Yeah. So it shouldn't be like a competition that we are competing as Africans or as black Americans. No, we should be the same and we should be treating each other as one thing, as one community, the black community, that is. Yeah. It's not that because he or she can be recommended to get this job, but you cannot. No, I know that we should be treated equally because all of us, we are black. Yeah. And for that, I'd like to finish our video from there. See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and share to your friends and family. Bye.